Okay, so let's start creating some proper segments. So we've already got with groups and tags some segments that we can easily target. You know, we can send an email to a group, we can send an email to a segment. We can send an email to a group, we can send an email to people with a specific tag. So we do actually have some segments. But what if we want to send, as we said we've got in the example that we created a group for a course, and in that course we've got all these tags for where people are up to in that course. So what if we want to just target people who have completed week 1? Now, okay, it's probably not the best example, because if we did just target people with that tag completed course week 1 complete, then it is only really going to go to people who have completed week 1 of that course. Okay, let's go back to the example of women's wear, men's wear. So let's say somebody orders, a woman orders a pair of size 6 shoes. So what we want to do is, if we've got an offer on for women's size 6 shoes, then we want it to go to people in the women's wear group and who match the size 6 tag. Now, there could be men with size 6 tags, because there's men with size 6 shoes, but we don't want it to go to men. The offer is just for women's shoes only. So we want it to go to the women's group with the size 6 tag. So we want to create segments based on that. And what we do is we go to our audience again, we click on view contact, and what we can see here is we've got view segment or new segment. If we click on view segment, we've got nothing there yet, because we've not actually created a specific segment. So what we can do is go to new segment, and here we've got some conditions that we can filter people to match a specific segment. And what we've got here is we can add different sections. And basically, this is a rule of conditions that says contacts match all of the following conditions. So they've got to match this condition on the top here. It doesn't matter what, don't worry about what it says just now, but they've got to match that condition, and they've got to match that condition, and they've got to match that condition, and they've got to match that condition. So, you know, you could have people, we can select this, so we can go to groups, interests, women's wear, and we can go to tags. Now, we haven't actually set this tag up for this, but contact is tagged with, let's say, size 6 shoe. So we could get rid of that one and get rid of that one. So what that's basically saying is that contacts who are in the interest group women's wear and is tagged with size 6 shoe, then they will be in that segment. Now, we've got up here as well, we could change that from all to any. And as you can see, that changes that word from and to or. Now, what this means is that if they are in the women's wear group or they have size 6 shoe, then it will add them to their segment. So what that would do then is add anybody who's selected women's wear group, so that would be all the women, and it would select anybody with size 6 shoe. So that could be the men who have size 6 shoe as well. So you can see that the conditions that you need to select are very relevant as to whether it's any or whether they match either of the conditions, or whether they have to match both of the conditions to be on your segment. So yeah, once you've done that, you can click on preview segments. Now it's going to give me an error here that says, you know, nobody matches your selection, because I haven't got people on my list yet. I haven't got anybody in a group, and I haven't got anybody with any tags. But even though nobody matches, what we can do is we can save the segment like so, and we can give it a name and call it Women with size 6 shoes. Again, we haven't created a tag for size 6 shoes, so I've just picked any tag, but obviously, you pick the tag that's relevant to the segment that you want to create. So I'm going to save that. Now, if I go to manage contacts again, view contacts. Actually, sorry, if I click on X there, it'll take us back to our normal list. And now if we go to view segment, we can see we've got that segment that we've created. So we can always go back to that segment quite easily. And then once we are in there, when people do match those conditions, you'll see a list of them here. We can then do things from here like send the campaign straight away. We can create an email campaign to send to them. And once we've grown an account, we can then start sending Facebook or Instagram ads, or to Facebook and Instagram ads with similar contacts. We can send adverts targeted at those people as well. And then we can also tag all those people. We can actually add tags to them as well if you so wish. So we can create as many exports as we like. We can actually export that segment as well. So we can export it to a CSV file. And then open that in in Microsoft Excel or something like that. So we can export that particular segment if we need to for any reason. So that's a really handy way of creating segments. And as you can see, if we close this and go to create a new segment, if we look at the things that we can segment by, so we've created groups and we've created tags. But if you look at this list, we've got all sorts of different things. So we've got things like automation activity. So if they started a particular workflow in the automations, now we haven't gone over automations yet, so this probably won't make an awful lot of sense. And there's nothing to look at because we haven't created any automated campaigns. But what we can do is we can actually pick people who have done an automated sequence. So if we've put somebody into an a welcome sequence in the past, or a welcome set of emails, then we can actually retarget those people again by the activity, the automation activity that they went through. So whether they started, completed, they did not started, or not completed the workflow. There's all these conditions as well. We've got things like campaign activity. So if they opened an email, and we can pick a specific email, or we can pick any campaign within a certain time frame. So if we have actually created the campaign that we've sent out, you will see that in the list there as well. So what we can do is we can target people who opened that email. So we can say sort of like, hey, what did you think of the offer? We can also target people that clicked on a link and say, hey, you clicked on a link, but you're not a buyer. What can we do to help? Why didn't you buy? We can do things like was sent. So they might have sent it but not opened it, in which case we can say, send them a new campaign to say, we noticed you didn't open the email. We didn't want you to miss out on this offer, so here's an offer. We've got was sent. So whether it was sent, opened or not, we can target those people. If it was not opened, we can then target them and say, look, you might have missed out on this offer. We don't want you to miss out on this offer. We can, again, they might have opened it but not clicked on the link, we can target them. And we can actually target people who was not sent a certain email as well. And we can actually go through all these. So I mentioned about contact rating. So you can see we can pick people with a certain contact rating. Now, when people open your emails, when people click on links, when people reply to emails, it gives them, Mailchimp assigns a contact rating. So people who are engaged with you get a higher contact rating. People who are disengaged get a lower contact rating. So if people are opening your emails, they could be good customers. You might want to send them, you're one of my best customers, or you're one of my best readers of my newsletter, I want to offer you 10% discount using this voucher code, and it's redeemable at, here's my link to my website. So you can pick contact rating. What else have we got? There's so much other stuff. Conversations, activity, date. Date added, so we can have people. If somebody joined your list after something, or if somebody joined your list before something, or between certain dates, we can pick people like that out of your list. We can pick, what their desktop client is. We can pick people who just use Apple phones. So we could have an offer for AirPods. Apple only AirPods. We've got them at 50% less than the Apple Store. That's not relevant to people who open their emails on their BlackBerry, if any of them still exist. So we can pick sort of, what sort of, technology people are using, which is really great. Email marketing status, so we can actually reach out to people who have actually unsubscribed from our list. We can actually, obviously we can market to people who are subscribed, but we could actually reach out to people who are unsubscribed if it's relevant. People who've opted out of email marketing, but it might be something that's really important about if they've bought a product off you in the past, and I don't know, maybe you've got an issue with that product, or there's a glitch or a fault, and you want to make people aware of it. You can actually send that email out to those people as well who are unsubscribed, because they may have bought a product from you in the past that that email might be completely relevant to them, and you need to get in touch. People who've changed their information. Landing page activity is quite an interesting one, and we'll be looking at that later, because we've created a landing page, and as you can see, we can actually target people who signed up or did not sign up. One of the things we're going to go over later on is automated emails from a Mailchimp landing page, and that's basically going to be triggered by people via this activity. So their landing page activity signed up on the first landing page. So people who signed up on that, we can target them. We can target people by their language, their location. Postcard activity, you can send postcards in Mailchimp to people's postal address. Sign up source, we've got multiple different sign up sources. So we've got just a couple of options there, but if once you've got a website up and running, you'll see more options. Groups we've just talked about that we've set up. We've got things like merge fields, and we can talk about merge fields later on. We're going to have a hidden merge field, so we can target people via a specific merge field. VIPs, we can actually assign our subscribers. We can actually make them a VIP if needs be. So if, let's say we've got let's say we've got some people on our list who are celebrities. You might want to make them VIPs, and then you might want to target them with specific emails for whatever reason. Never actually use that feature, but you never know. It might be relevant to you. Tags we've created, and engagement, email marketing engagement is, whether they actually engage with you rarely, sometimes, often, or whether they're new people on your list. So as you can see, there's all sorts of different ways that we can segment our audience up, and we can actually use all these to then, once we've created that segment, as we saw before, we can then view the segment, and then we can send the campaign to the people that are in that segment, or that, the people that are listed below here. We can actually send the campaign directly to them. So that's the sort of power of segmentation. You can see what sort of options you've got, and you can really see how you can target people with very, very specific and relevant information. And when you do that as well, you'll find that your sales conversion rates improve, because let's say you've got a list of 100 people, and say 50 of those people have already taken you up on your course, and then you promote you want to get more people on your course, so you send an email out promoting your course, and you just send it out to your whole audience. So you're sending a course promotion to 100 people. 50 people it's not relevant to, so they're not going to take any action. And then of the remaining 50 people, if 25 people take you up on that offer, then you've got 25 conversions or successful conversions from 100 emails sent, or an email sent to 100 people. So that gives you a 25% conversion rate. But if you specifically target the people it's relevant to, so you don't need to send it to the 50 people who've already done your course, so you only have to send that email out to 50 people, and again 25 people sign up, then 25 out of 50 people have signed up, which gives you a 50% conversion rate. So your results are going to show a truer, a truer view of your statistics, and it's going to, as you can see, it's going to improve your conversion rates. So sending relevant information out to the right people it is really, really important and really, really powerful too. So that's why we segment, and that's why, as part of all the audience management and the list management, is why that's really important, that we manage our audience effectively using proper segmentation. So I hope that's been quite enlightening, to be honest, and I hope you can see the real benefit and power in that as well. So bear that in mind going forward. Bear that in mind when you're offering your services, and yeah, so that is segmentation completed.